So following on with the gsxr build, I've hopefully been following the videos, got to a reasonable state of being back together. We've at the minute currently on with the radiator and the pipes. Went and got another bit of vacuum hose today that was a bit short in the kit. A bit of lads down at the silicone hose shop were helpful as normal and just gave me a bit, so we'll probably get that on. Ow, that was my fucking head. When you build a shed, try and make it so you can walk underneath it. It's always a good option. Anyway, I'm going to just take this fan off and try and get this mesh to fit nicely on the back there. And I'm going to give this a bit of a straight around here, some Scotch-Brite or whatever, and just give it a lick over with some black hammerite. And we'll spray the mesh. We'll get that on, and then we can fit that on the back, finish off the cooling system. So that's on the cars now. So take this off, need to get a 10mm spanner. So that's that off. We'll give that a clean up. Maybe give that a lick of paint. Might come out alright just with a clean. Not too corroded out. So we'll try and fit this piece of mesh on there. Cut some of the sharp pieces off, and I've just literally stabbed myself, so be careful. But first off, I'm going to cut, you can see it's quite messy on the edges, so I'm going to cut all them pieces off and then trim it up to the size of this, so I won't bore you with that too long. I'll pause this. So I've trimmed all the rough edges on that and slightly kinked it into each side so that it holds, fits behind that little bottom lip there, and then just kink behind the other edge there. So that's not looking too bad. Obviously get it all sprayed up, radiator black and mesh gold, and then the fan will help hold that on as well. And I've got the other hose that I picked up the other day on, so that's ready to go to the radiator once we get that on. So I'm just going to fish a few more bits out. I was doing polished engine casings, but I think I'm going to do the other side polished and keep this side black, and then this year I'll make my mind up whether to go polished or black, or there's the option. I was thinking about gold plated, but it's sort of 400 quid just for the engine casings, but we'll see, as it would look nice. So we'll do a few more bits. So we just decided to do the engine casings black, as I've started to polish a couple of them and I just can't be bothered this year, so I'm going to give them 3 or 4 coats of Amorite black. Hopefully it won't react with the paint. Just gone over everything with some Scotch-Brite, and then a tack cloth, and I'll just shove that in the holes just to stop any much paint going in there. So I'm going to give them 3 coats, 3 or 4, and see what finish we get. So while we're literally waiting for paint to dry on the rad and the engine casings, down to a few niggly bits. I've got a couple of bits of plastic. That one fits underneath in front of the engine at the top, and then that one bolts underneath your bottom yoke, so I'll get them on, give them a clean. I'll clean the fan up ready to bolt on the radiator. The expansion tank, but it's got a bit of crud in the bottom, so I think I've seen a YouTube video what's best to wash that out with. Other than that, I'm going to check the quick Google to find the torque settings on the front wheel, rear wheel and swing arm pin, and get them torqued up, nip the sprocket nuts up, get the tape off them, and just go around and check a few bits. I've got the screws underneath. There's four of these that I need to get tightened up and make sure everything's all bolted up under there. I might rest the tank on, but really I need to start looking at the rear sets and what I'm going to do with them. Got a funny feeling I'm going to have to polish parts of them and maybe a bit of paint, and then before I spray the mesh for the rad gold, I've cleaned the calipers up, but there's a couple of little brackets for the back brake hose where the exhaust space a bit, so I might just give them a lick of plastic coat, like a brassy gold, like exhaust rubber, just bits and pieces really. So I'm going to get cleaning and bolt a few pieces on. I was still waiting for the fairing anyway. I'm hoping it's not on the ship that's stuck in the canal. So yeah, we'll get a few more bits tightened up, bolted up. So I got a few more bits done yesterday. Got the airbox all put on nice and tight. I just got one more bolt put back in there. What else did we do? Got the calipers all on and brake line in place. I've just put the old braided ones on for now. I'd like some red, but I'll have to wait. Yeah, got all that. Got the front axle, swing arm and rear one all nipped up tight and the pinch bolts back in. I couldn't quite find the exact torque settings, but they were pretty much average on most of the gsxrs at between sort of 72.5 foot-pound and 80, so I just did them all at 75. Got the rest of the water pipes on, all buttoned up. Obviously we'll wait till we've got the rad on, make sure nothing's leaking, but I might try and put the engine casings on. They come out fairly well, quite a nice finish with smooth black Amorite, but I'm not sure if the paint will still be a little bit soft, but I might try and get them on and get some oil in, and I could maybe bolt the exhaust on and fire it up, but we'll see what the day brings. I've just got the rear sets that I was going to have a mess about with in a minute. I'm not sure, I might polish a few bits and paint the heel plates, but we'll have a look. But yeah, that's how far we've got. I've got this piece here, just a couple of bolts to put in that. Maybe a few more cable ties on this stuff here, but yeah, keep tuned. We'll have a run in a couple of days. So sorry if I've skipped a few steps. My phone won't charge today, so finally got it to work, and I'll tell you what I've done. I buttoned all the bits up underneath and put the casings on this side. Obviously did all the water pipes on this side first, got all them in, got your sensor there that plugs in, and then you're wiring off your magneto, that wires in. Other than that, breather pipe on the top. And we've got the radiator done with the gold mesh on the back, got all that bolted in, pipes on, got the calipers on. I haven't bled the brakes up yet, but we don't need that to start it. I've drained all the old petrol out of the old tank. Obviously the fairing kit comes with a tank cover, so I don't know if I'm going to need that on or off, but we'll find out. I don't know, whilst I was doing the mesh for the radiator, just give them a lick of gold as well in the vents. Still got that to sort out. And then on this side, got this engine casing on, and it all looks pretty good in Amorite. And all stainless bolts, which I'm going to swap out for gold and red washers, but when we've got the money. Obviously got the, see the gold there, you can see it, it's a bit dark this side, but got all them pipes on, 2 breather pipes at the top, got the wiring sorted out a bit more. And then yeah, I've bolted the exhaust on. It's just a standard can at the minute, but we're either going to shorten that or treat it to a new can. But yeah, it's pretty much ready. I'm going to get some oil in it in the morning, get some coolant in it. I've got this bolt to put in yet, but I wanted to polish this little piece here, because you see that through the hole in the fairing. But yeah, we're hopefully I'll go and get some fresh fuel in the morning, put some fluids in it, just double check everything, and we'll see if she'll fire up. Got the battery in, that's a new one, just got to connect it up. I'll probably plug the clocks in so they'll get an idea of what's happening. Yeah, hopefully we'll get the bits done and fire it up and see if I've done everything and everything works alright. So, morning people, today's a good day. We've the fairings out for delivery today, so let's see if we can keep on with the good news. Going to get some fluids in her, and first start with the oil. There's about 4 litres in here, so it says 3,000 millilitres on the engine casing, so I'm going to pour it in. So there's about a litre left in this. It should be about right, and then we'll check it in the window. Just make sure your sump plug's in and tight if you've had that out, which obviously I have to drain it off. So I've sorted that, we'll get the oil in it. So oil's in, put the plug back in the top. It's showing on the window about max on oil, so that'll do. And next get some coolant in, and try and just squeeze the pipes a bit to get it to flow round, but won't be able to tell really until we get everything up to temperature if it's leaking. So I get some coolant in. I've been to get some fuel, so I stick that in, and then I've plugged the clocks back on, so rig up the battery and we'll see what happens. So we've got oil, water and fuel in it, so I've connected the battery up. I'm just going to turn it on a couple of times to prime the fuel pump, and fingers crossed she might fire up. check the stand switch. Ooh. So it seems like it's alright. I'll just let it warm up to about 20 degrees before we start revving it a bit. But just got to get it up to temperature and check for leaks. Just put the rad cap back on because it's spewing out a bit. Hopefully that's got rid of any air, but we can always check that after. Get that on. Probably leave the expansion tank one off just to try and bleed any air out. I'm just going to let that tick over for a bit, get it up to 100 degrees. So I've got it up to temperature, the fan kicks in at about 105, brings it back down. So the coolant started to come into the expansion thing, so looking good, probably just want topping up a little bit. But yeah, she's running nice. Just blowing the cans off the shelf on the back. Boom, boom.